Hello everyone, we're here at NDC Melbourne, lots of real people around. We have beautiful Melbourne in the background and I have Ari Hunt. How are you, Ari?
Good.
You did a session here.
Yeah, I did coding for kids.
Coding for kids. Now tell me, what is programming to you?
To me, it's an excuse to play video games.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it feels like you're doing something that's really fun that you're not meant to do, but really it's just productivity.
Coding is a lot of fun, you can really get into it. How long have you been coding for?
I did a talk with Dad when I was probably like 8.
And how old are you now?
12.
12, so you got 4 years of experience.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Okay, well you could put that in your LinkedIn profile, right? So tell us, what did you walk through in your session?
Basically just code combat and like...
What's code combat?
So it's basically like just introducing kids into coding, like what it is, how you can use it, and basically it's kind of like a video game mixed with coding, and so it's built so that kids can understand like what coding is and also have fun while doing it.
And what was the first coding experience? What was the first like language or environment you looked at?
Python.
Python, wow.
Yeah, well first it was block coding
Yes.
on like Scratch.
Yep.
Just, but yeah, like Python currently.
And then you learnt some basic coding in Python.
Yep.
You can do an if statement, you can do a loop. Okay, and was your session all in Python?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And what does Dad program in?
No idea.
Oh, have you heard of C#?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't looked at that language.
No, not yet.
Yes, big people's language. But not much different, not much different. So is programming for you all about code, or is it also hardware and?
For me, it's about like, it's just being able to sit there for hours and just write something that's productive. It's like you can build apps, websites, pretty much anything, and it's just like, it's a fun way to lose track of time for me.
And have you ever like kind of sat there and got in the zone where you're just trying little things and keep running it?
That's when it's like, that's when it's most fun, which is you don't think about anything else. It's just, how do I get this to be bigger, or how do I link this to that? Yeah.
And what's the day that you were the happiest because you did something really, really cool?
Probably my first talk when I got up, and it's just like, I was nervous at the start, but as soon as I got into it, it's just easy to talk about something you love, and it was just a great experience.
And how did you find the preparation when you were trying to organise how you would speak? And because speaking for an hour is not that easy, right? So how did you remember what you were going to speak about?
Just dot points, and it's like, it's not super difficult if you know what it is and you know what you need to talk about. And yeah, like I have the program with me, I have like the notes on my phone that I can look at if I need to, but yeah, it's good.
And what was your goal that you wanted people to take away from coming into your session and listening to you?
I wanted people to get more engrossed into coding and kind of like take the first steps into something that's massive.
So you're at school. What is your favourite subject?
It was robotics before.
They have robotics at school?
Yeah, before it was cancelled.
Oh, why?
I don't know, school.
Maybe because you were the only one that signed up?
Probably.
Are other kids into it?
Yeah, one of my friends is super into it as well, and we ran like a little coding club at school where kids could just like come into the classroom and we would just do like coding games, and yeah, that was really fun.
And how many kids that you know of are interested in this?
One.
You've just got one friend. Have you done it together?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you've done like pair programming?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Now, at school, you do maths and English, right? Which one do you prefer in maths and English?
English.
Really?
Yes.
Because they often say that people that like maths more naturally do programming.
I suck at maths.
Really?
Yes.
Because I think if you're gonna be good at one of them as a programmer, it's good to be good at English, because being able to communicate and write is very creative as well. Very creative. When you write code, everybody writes code differently. And that's why, you have making developers code the same way as you when you're in a team is a little hard. And because writing code is a bit like art, a bit like writing, just everyone has their own style. So what do you think you're going to do as you get older?
Probably follow in Dad's footsteps. I love NDC and what they've been doing, but yeah, one day work for him even. But yeah, probably do the same thing that he's been doing.
Right. So you've started to get a handle on Python. There's lots and lots of languages. They're all a little different. Do you know what the next thing you might try is?
Probably Java.
Java? No. .NET? No. C#? No Java? No. So, you've got a pretty cool room, I've heard, right?
Yes.
You can turn the lights on and off, right?
Yeah, with an Amazon Alexa.
So give me an example. If I go into your room, tell me what I can do.
There's a motion sensor at the door that will sense when someone is there, and it will turn the whole room on, and you can kind of set it to have the bookshelf green and the bed blue and the desk purple and stuff.
So you walk into your room, you don't bother turning on lights.
No.
You say nothing. The lights just come on.
Exactly.
And then you say, "Hey Alexa, turn my bedside light to green."
Yeah.
And how did you do that?
A lot of trial and error, but yeah, it's when COVID first started, that was when we built a Nerf gun wall. It's we spray painted it, we cut it out, we got everything ready, and that was kind of the COVID hobby, just starting to put LEDs around everything, and that turned out to be really cool.
So I was at your house when your dad bought a fancy 3D printer. Are you using it?
Yes.
What do you do with it?
It's you can print basically anything with a 3D printer. And we've been printing skulls, octopuses.
How do you do that? How do you say print a skull?
You go into Prusa 3D, which is and you can download 3D models off other websites and import it into Prusa, and just press print, and it will if you need supports, if it's too many layers, if it's too big, if it's too small. So
let's just say that my my laptop was rocking or something, and I wanted to get a piece in the back, to build it up or something, and I could draw that out. Could I give that to you and you could work out how to print it for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And how long do you think it would take you to work out how to do that little bar for me?
Probably not long, just a few measurements and then import it in, and it's just the printer does the work.
And you reckon you could do that by yourself?
Yeah.
And how long would it take to print it then?
It depends on how big, but if it was just pretty simple, it would take maybe a few hours.
So you're one of the first kids ever to grow up with a 3D printer. So your mind will always be adaptable when you see a problem, that you can actually use that for work, so you can be using that to solve problems. You start with printing skulls and having fun, and then you start thinking, oh yeah, I can fix that, I can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good.
So all right, so let's add 10 years to Ari's life, and here you are, you're in your 20s. What do you guess you're going to be working in? Do you think you'll be working in games, or do you think you might be working in security like your father, or you think you might be working in business, making business applications and making businesses more efficient?
I think I'd probably go down the security path, because I've known and kind of grew up a bit with knowing. It's just this is what Dad does, this is what I can do. It's it's simple, and yeah, it's looked really good, and so I've thought that that might be something I want to do in the future.
Are you going to be blogging? Do you think you'll be blogging?
Probably.
Writing about your experiences as you go?
Yeah.
Putting it up on arihunt.com?
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
very good. Excellent. All right. Well, that's fantastic. I hope to see more than one young tacker at these conferences. I want to see heaps of them.
Hopefully, that's the
goal.
goal.
Awesome. Yeah, this is really awesome. So, if you've got a kid, get your kid into programming. You know, Ari's a great example of getting going. All right. So that's been fantastic talking to Ari. You can get on the NDC website. You can look at Ari Hunt's presentation. If you've got kids, send them through to these conferences. The more kids that we can get involved in coding, the better. And thank you, Ari. And you can follow Ari, arihunt.com.au. And this is Adam Cogan signing off for NDC.